What's up, YouTube? All right, so where we left off, I put the intake on the truck. I got the, I got a lot of the motor together, but we got to move on to these headers. So I bought these headers. These are the Headman long tube headers for Ford 302, made for the Bronco specifically. They were about 325 bucks. But I'm excited to put these on. So we're going to go through it and try and figure out how to put these on. I think we're going to have to use some of the old bolts, some of the new bolts. We're going to take these and because we need to mount our electronics to one of the bolts for the header on the driver's side, and I think our intake mounts to the headers on the passenger side. So we are going to open these up and see what we got. All right, guys, here they are. So they said that this paint was supposed to burn off whenever you start the truck for the first time, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything with them because I'm lazy. So these are 2.5 inch collector down here. I think they're 1 5/8 inlets. So I mean, these are expensive, and I didn't want to get something that might not fit on the truck, so I went with something a little more pricey. But let's go see about putting these things on the truck, and let's find out what we have to do to make them fit. All right. Oh, we got this big old bag of stuff too. That's cool. All right. Oh, there's the bolts. Well, that went pretty smoothly. So we got the 2 bolts in there. I gotta go get the the seals. Okay, something I noticed about these seals, usually this part here is more like just a hook so that you can just drop it in, but these are closed, so I have to take the bolt out and then put it on the header and then put the bolt through it. It'll be all right. It'll be fine. Let's try it. All right. Now, I'm sure this is a little bit easier for me because I don't have a front clip on my truck at all. So I'm able to just stand where the radiator usually would be. But that looks like a pretty direct fit. Only thing I can see is that maybe the drive shaft will make contact once it's all tightened up, but it'll be close. So we'll have to pay attention to that. Anyway, let's get these things snugged in here, and then we can figure out what to do next. I will say one thing. These bolts are mighty close to the exhaust, like the actual tubes. So I don't know how we're gonna get them tightened. I guess it's gonna be 1/8 turn at a time or something, but we'll see. I'm thinking one of these ones back here we're gonna have to mount, and I think it's this third one from the back. We have a little piece that we have to mount on there, so I think I'll leave that one empty for now. All right, so now there is a bar that goes from here down there. I gotta go get it. Hang on. Okay, I found that bar. I'm pretty sure it mounts right here. Of course, I bent it to shit, so give me a second while I try and bend all this back. All right, guys, this is why it's imperative that you save your old nuts and bolts, just in case. I knew I was gonna get headers, and I knew that I was gonna get new hardware, but I saved my old nuts and bolts. As you can see down there, I've got a long bolt, because that's how it used to be, with 2 nuts on the end in order to support all of this electronic stuff above my valve cover. Now what I had to do was I had to take that used to be the nut part, that used to be a hex head. I had to take my grinder and grind that down so that it would fit past the exhaust tube, and then I just took 2 nuts and I spaced them out right so that it would land exactly where I needed it, and then I tightened everything down, and it worked really well. This is not going anywhere, and I have a bolt in there to hold my header on. So let's get this header tightened down, and then we can move on to the other side and see what we have to do there. All right, guys, I'd say that looks pretty good. Got it all tightened up, got the brace in there, got everything where it needs to be, gasket in. Looks good, man. Let's move on to the other side. Well, let's see if this side goes in as easy as the other side. I don't know if you can hear me, but my starter wire is in the way. All right, I got them in. Just 2 bolts, but I'm gonna start putting these other ones in here. Now, this 3rd hole from the front, we're gonna have to connect it to the lower, or to the lower part of the upper intake, because that is a support. So it'll probably have to be fabricated like we did the other side, but no biggie. And I'm sorry, I know it's probably a terrible shot. You're just looking at my shoulder the whole time. All I'm doing is just putting these bolts in one at a time, all the way back. So you're not really missing anything. Actually, I'll just get back to you in a minute when I got these bolts in. All right, it's the next day. That took a lot of effort. I had to drill out 2 of the holes in the back there because they just weren't cutting it. Found this brace. Had to do the same thing here. I had to replace this bolt here with a longer bolt, and I had to do the same thing we did on the other side for the brace to mount up to the intake like it's supposed to. Anyway, but I'm glad that's all in, because that was a nightmare, to be honest. That was really difficult. The other side was far easier. And every time I had to take the header out, I had to pull it from the bottom because it does not come out the top. Now, one thing I'm a little bit worried about is I need to get my oil dipstick tube in there still. So I'm gonna do that, and then these headers should be installed and everything where it's supposed to be.